So now that the mob wife aesthetic is trending, y'all get what cultural appropriation is. Oh, okay. Italian culture is not your costume. So put down the nameplate necklace. Hang up the hoops. Get your hair out of that slick back bun.
These are people who cannot claim the mob wife aesthetic or educate yourselves before partaking in this culture. You also don't need to necessarily grow up 100% Italian. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of times when you grow up in places like Queens, Long Island, Jersey, you inherit certain characteristics and your family grows up a certain way. So it's all about values. Number one is clear as day. If you villainize carbs, if you're not eating the bread and you're not eating the pasta because you think you're going to gain weight, absolutely cannot claim mob wife aesthetic. If you grew up eating pasta, you understand pasta's not bad for you. Number two is for the older gen, but if you didn't grow up having a crush on Carmine, Frankie, or Johnny, and you didn't declare one of them as yours, I'd reconsider the mob wife aesthetic. If you don't know who Carmela Soprano is, I don't think I need to explain this one. Next is if you don't know any Motown music. If you're at a wedding and you don't hear Motown music, there's probably no mob-related ties in your family or friend group. Speaking of weddings, if you haven't been to a wedding at Russo's on the Bay, or a communion, Sweet 16, etc., I don't know what to tell you. On the topic of weddings, if you don't believe in cocktail hour, hate to break it to you, but you were raised very different, because somebody who can claim the mob wife aesthetic believes in a full cocktail hour because there's never enough fucking food. You worry about people going hungry, and it's not because you portion one per person. Oh, there's just enough. No, there's never enough food. You always worry there isn't enough food, and you cook for a fucking army. You provide food for 1 million people, even if there's 10. Next, if you didn't have in your cabinet Stella's Oro cookies, Entenmann's coffee cake, crumb cake, etc., for company in case somebody came over. Next, if you've never had this national treasure pop up on your For You page, then your For You page is curated very differently than somebody who can carry the mob wife aesthetic. I trust everything this woman says. Next, and this is for people that especially aren't even Italian and supremely white, but if you go out of your way to correct somebody that's saying gabagool, mortadelle, prosciutto, gabagool, relax. Finally, if you've told a nonna that you were full and you left food on your plate and disrespected her like that, there's no hope.
The whole mob wife aesthetic that's trending right now is so interesting to me because, in my opinion, being a mob wife is not aspirational. Like, at least with the clean girl aesthetic, it's a life that you would aspire to have. She's eating healthy, she's going to Pilates, or even with the coastal grandmother. Like, there is a lifestyle that is attached to this aesthetic that you immediately think of, like an Ina Garden. But the lifestyle of a mob wife is just constant suffering, getting cheated on, constantly wondering when your life is going to fall apart any moment because your husband is involved in criminal acts. Like, did you guys not watch The Sopranos? These women's lives were hell. And as somebody who watched every season of Mob Wives on VH1, once again, like, these women were going through it. I've seen so many documentaries, I've watched so many interviews of people who were married to mobsters or the children of mobsters. It just seems like a life that destroys everyone it touches. I don't know, for me, if I'm gonna dress up or emulate the archetype of a certain person, I want it to be someone whose lifestyle I would actually want in real life. Like, when I hear the word mob wife, I don't think of glamour and like red lipstick. I think of smoking cigarettes on my kitchen island because my husband and my father have gone to jail on the same exact day. And I come to find out that my husband is cooperating with the feds and snitched on my father. Now he's going back to prison and I'm gonna have a nervous breakdown. Like, that's what I think about when I hear the word mob wife. But I guess people just love their fur coats. But I don't know, I would never want to be Carmela.
Everybody talking mob wives aesthetic this, mob wives aesthetic that. If you never been woken up for school by the motherfucking feds looking for your dad, you don't deserve to wear this coat, and you don't deserve to talk about mob wife aesthetics. Oh, the feds never look for your pops? You ain't a mob wife? Get out of here. Brittany, if one of your cousins has never been to jail, if you don't know a guy named Tony that knows a guy, you can't claim mob wives. If you don't have an outstanding table at your favorite Italian restaurant, if you don't know a guy who knows a guy at your favorite restaurant, you don't deserve to wear this coat. You don't deserve to claim mob wife.
I'm from planet Earth. I'm sick to death of seeing these videos just because you like The Sopranos, Big Ange, and Bronx Tales, and I like David Attenborough, doesn't mean I can't wear a fur coat and cheetah print. Just because I don't have clear skin, I have acne, I can't be the clean girl aesthetic. It's giving mean girls. It's giving bullying. I do not approve what you can and what you can't wear. I might wake up tomorrow and want to wear a freaking kimono for the rest of my life. Just because it's someone else's culture doesn't mean I cannot embrace it. This channel, Arvin Family, is one of the most multicultural channels on TikTok. We embrace every culture's food. We embrace Polynesian, we embrace Middle Eastern, we embrace European. And you're telling me just because I call it a charcuterie board and you call it antipasto, I can't rock up to a party in hoop earrings and a fur coat. I'm sorry, that is absolutely ridiculous. And we should not be teaching young girls and young guys that this is the culture for the rest of our days. This is why people don't feel comfortable being who they are. This is why people don't feel comfortable being themselves and wearing things that make them feel good. What? I can't wear little skimpy outfits because I'm not a size 6 to 8? That is absolutely ludicrous to me. Absolutely ludicrous. And now we have these ridiculous videos, people coming out saying, I'm Italian, I've been wearing fur coats and hoop earrings since I came out of the womb. You're not allowed to wear it because you don't love Big Ange and watch Bronx Tales and you don't know who the Sopranos are. Yeah, I had to Google Bronx Tales. Yeah, I had to Google Big Ange and the Sopranos. But that doesn't mean I can't have a fur coat. This is what the bullying and mean girl mentality is. Just because you're wearing army pants and flip-flops doesn't mean I can't wear army pants and flip-flops. And if you think that you can control the whole of society, the fashion society, what they can and can't wear because you were born in Europe and I was born down under, girl, you have another thing coming to you. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up, I'm going to make my charcuterie board, I'm going to wear my fur jacket and my hoop earrings and my cheetah print, and I'm going to message another bish called Kelly in Tampa, Florida to go buy all the cheetah print, because this is actually ridiculous. Guys and girls, wear whatever you want. If you want to wake up and wear a different culture's outfit, if you want to wake up and eat different culture food, if you want to wear a fur coat, if you want to wear a kimono, wear what you want. Wear what you feel comfortable in. Wear what makes you feel like a good person. Don't come on here and watch these ridiculous videos of people telling you what you can and can't wear. It's a style. Embrace it. Be happy that other people are embracing your culture. If it's that serious of a culture, fur jackets and hoop earrings. The internet hurts my brain someday, and God help these young children growing up being bullied into not being allowed to wear fur jackets and hoop earrings and cheetah print, or not being allowed to have makeup-free days because they're scared walking out of their house that they're going to be laughed at for having hormonal acne on their face. I know girls on the internet and guys on the internet that won't even show their birthmarks because they're worried about being bullied. And here you are worrying about a fur jacket and some hoop earrings. I would really, really reconsider some video ideas that people have, because there's always going to be that bish from down under called Kelly making sure that people know that you can wear whatever you like. You can dress however you like, as long as you're not offending or being offensive to someone else's culture. Wearing their type of clothes is not offensive. That's loving a style. That's embracing a style and a culture. So have a good day. Top of the morning.
If you're going to do this mob wife aesthetic, you need to commit to the bit. You need to go all in. Not this fur coat, French tip, Carmela Soprano. I need you beating bitches down like Drita.
Get up, Karen.
I need you screaming and crying in the kitchen like Renee Graziano when she found out Junior turned himself in. Like, you need to have the gravelly, chain-smoking voice of Big Ange. And Big Ange said in that one clip, murder.
The murder.
Now that is a mob wife aesthetic.
Oh, I'm not done yet. You know, my candies, my snacks finished. I was enjoying the drama. The drama was giving Europeans. It was giving so white. And I was enjoying it, really. Like, I can't believe it. Like, even my lollipop finished while I was eating. Like, I specifically went to get a lollipop for this because it's so hilarious. It's so hilarious and it's funny when we see how white girls would take cultures, not just white Americans, like white girls take cultures of black people, make it their own. It's okay. And now whenever they take something from their own culture, they'd be like, oh, that's cultural appropriation. really. And I'm not done yet. You think I'm done, but I needed to know what the girlies are thinking. You know, black girls, what are they thinking? The mob wife aesthetic, so funny.
No, because it's crazy how they're deeming the mob wife aesthetic cultural appropriation. But when black women are like, hey, maybe stop, wearing box braids and darkening your skin and paying for your lips, it's a problem. And suddenly nobody understands what we're talking. No, because I cannot believe the girls are going back and forth like this. I have never seen Italian girls speak out on TikTok like they have spoken out about this whole mob wife aesthetic. They said that their culture is not a costume. They are coming. They are on these girls' necks.
The white girls are fighting. They are beefing. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, they're fighting over something called the mob aesthetic. They fell all my brown girls in. So basically, right, HBO came out with their 25th anniversary of The Sopranos. Their genius marketing team was like, oh, let's start a trend. Let's start the mob wife trend, okay? So they got all the Italian American influencers who are hella Italian, right, doing this whole thing, promotion. And then because all the other white girls from like the Midwest, California, they love this vibe. They're like, oh my God, I want to be a gangster's wife. But come on, girl, you'd be the first one to open your mouth if you see some shady business going on. But then all the Italian girls from New York and New Jersey actually started noticing this, and they were like, hello, you can't appropriate my culture. No shade to my Italian girls, but it's hilarious to me that made you realize what cultural appropriation is. Asian, right? This is not my culture. I'm sitting in the back watching all the girls fight. This is hilarious to me because I know how Italian girls are. My favorite part is how the Russian girls are quiet. Listen, that's how you know you're a real New Yorker. You know how the Russian girls in New York are. You know about the fur coats, you know the scams, you know about the diamonds, you know about Sheepshead Bay, Bensonhurst, all these places, right? So the fact that all these other white girls from like the other side of the coast don't even know that, honey, let me tell you that you're not a mob wife. You know, me as a person, I would never pretend to take something that's not my own, unlike a citizen from the blue and white state. But I guess not everybody thinks like
I'm very sincere about this. I'm minding my business, and I wanted to share this because I thought it was funny. It was really hilarious, and I wanted to laugh with you guys. Like, I found it really, really funny. I found it very interesting, And the comment section, you want to go to the comment section? I feel bad that I don't have snacks anymore. I like the video the actual ex-mob wife made, calling everyone out. Lol. I'm Greek, and this whole thing is so funny because the whole mob wife aesthetic is just what our moms and aunties have been dressing like for ages. Scavenian. I'm Scavenian. What does the blue and white mean? I'm thinking it's meaning like the Israel flag. So they just call it the for TikTok purposes, they call it that as Israel. Blue and white state has me on the floor. I don't get how it's a culture. Me too. But hey, they've been taking things from us. They tied the whole aesthetic into a culture. So that's why, basically. So is there a culture because it's mixed? You have to make sauce from scratch. You have to make dinner for 100 people, and you have to know their lifestyle. So the aesthetic is part of the culture of the Italian American, not the Italians in Italy. Like, they don't know that. When is the 2000s Tolavella aesthetic coming? These women always looked beautiful. It's long overdue. I see white. Aussie. Is it Aussie? White girl here for the tea. Most of us still wear thongs, flip-flops in the winter as formal attire. So random, but the way you cut strand, I thought so too. The way she's cutting those strawberries, I was like, oh my God, it's so refreshing. It's so like I could watch her chop all day, and she's telling the story. Did you just group California with the Midwest? The audacity. They're coming for her as well. But why criminal's wife? Y'all can fight to be a king's wife or a CEO's wife, but mob? Well, money is money, girl. Oh boy. Period. Because as my girlie don't get, the Albanian girls don't play either. Facts. My BFF is a billion Albanian. I know how hard y'all go. I love your knife skills. Irish girls over here with our popcorns love a fight. No one's going to talk about how sharp the knife is. I'm here because of the strawberries. I don't get the part about the Russian girls. Can somebody explain? Well, Brooklyn specifically, there is a large Russian community associated with their own mafia. But of course, you don't know who. But the wealth is insane. So yeah, the Russian wife aesthetic. But really, we've been talking about this. We've been talking about this, about you guys appropriating our culture, taking stuff from us, and then you don't give us credit for shit. And now when somebody else does that to you, it hurts. It's painful, right? It really, really does hurt. So I found it really funny. Like, I don't really have anything to add but to laugh. I'm craving a lollipop at this point. The things towards the occupation shall not be named is what's keeping me from going recently. Am I the only one staring? No, you're not. For once, I don't have a dog in the fight, but I'm leaving for the mass. One girl said the mob is not real. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Canadian here with an Italian family watching, eating my popcorn. I knew it, and you did not disappoint. The girl is in California can always be a mob girl because of some of the travel to Mexico. Why am I getting these countries wrong? But interesting, so fucking funny. I'm still gonna laugh. It's so really funny.